Welcome everybody, namaste. I'm so glad that you're here sharing your enhanced yoga practice with us. Whatever you're consuming today, go ahead and spark it up if you haven't already, or vape it up, or rub that topical on. Use that CBD tincture. One of the most amazing things about this plant is the diverse ways in which we can use it, the methods of consumption. So if you're vaping or dabbing or smoking some hash, all good. In later videos, I'll go into some of the specifics around each method of consumption, as well as a little bit more about strains and cannabinoids. But for now, let's get to some practice. So, Boom Shiva, as the ancient Sanskrit chant or cheer goes. And let's start our practice as we always do in some form of seated meditation. Whether you want to kneel like I am here or sit in a more conventional picnic style, cross-legged, you can use a block, a pillow to elevate your hips and make the pose more comfortable. And bring in an attitude of mindfulness now as we start our practice. Maybe you're grabbing your pillow or finishing off your pipe. Maybe you're ready to go already, sitting nice and tall. But bring on that attitude of witnessing or awareness. So really letting go of the cares, the concerns, worries and distractions of your day and of your being, and come into just this moment. When you're ready, allow yourself to sit nice and tall, arranging your legs whatever way is most comfortable. Let your ears reach right over your shoulders right over your hips, so you feel yourself in a really tall vertical stance. Allow the arms to softly rest on your legs. Closing your eyes here, moving on your own time. So if you're still settling in, you're still getting your consumption finished, no rush. And when you are ready, begin your meditation practice with a few slow, deep breaths. Put yourself into a mood to relax. Breathe through your nose, becoming mindful or aware of your body, your breath, tapping inwards and slowing down your breath. Sitting comfortably and relaxed, with your eyes closed, take one hand to your belly. Shoulders soft, and as you inhale, slowly fill your belly like you were inflating a balloon. Feeling the belly press into your hand. As you exhale, slowly contract your belly. Inhale, belly slowly fills. Exhale, belly slowly contracts. Keeping your hand here for that feedback, or if you understand the sense of yogic breath, release the hand and let the arm relax. Continue to breathe here, feeling your body and softening, relaxing, releasing throughout your body as you slow down your breath. And remember, we're not forcing or straining the breath here, but allowing it. Allowing deep, elongated breath. And if you're still toking or vaping, you might use this slower, mindful breath as you consume. Just a few more moments here to start our practice. Bringing in the awareness element, the consciousness or mindfulness element as the platform by which all of the other yoga practices rest. Keeping that mindfulness, we'll do one more breath. And then slowly allow the eyes to blink open and begin our practice. Hands to the heart prayer, a little bow of the head, namaste. I'm so glad you're here. Let's find all fours. And keep that mindfulness or that awareness going as you find your pose. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, opening up your fingers as wide as you can. And then have your middle fingers parallel to the sides of your mat and your thumbs gently moving away from the middle fingers. Your arms are vertical, so totally straight, and wrists right under shoulders. Keep the hands as they are, but use your arm muscles to externally rotate the arm bones so it feels like they're spinning outward without moving the hands. That'll mean the elbow creases move toward forward. And then push the floor away, getting some hand stretch here. Let's let the head slowly drop down. And keep pushing the floor, so if you become aware of the space between the shoulder blades, it's not rounding, or rather U-ing, if that's the word, like a hammock. Push down into the floor so the shoulder area is flat. And then letting your head drop down, drop your belly down. So a little different from table if you're used to it from other classes. A lot more integrity in the arms here, getting really good alignment for future poses. Pushing the floor away, even though it's a little strenuous, protecting the shoulder joint, keeping them nestled properly in their sockets. Just a couple more breaths. Maybe the back of the neck can lengthen more as the head slowly drops. Letting the belly soften down releases the organs inside your abdomen. Remember, there's no hammock or U-shape in your upper back. Sometimes you might want to do yoga in front of a mirror or check your postures in front of a mirror to make sure that you are really aware of what's going on in parts of the body you can't see. And then last breath here, feeling your whole body in table pose. And remember this pose because we're going to come back to it. For now, though, let's tuck the toes under and we'll have the feet head width apart. And then pushing your hands into the floor, dropping your belly gently down so your tailbone lifts. We're going to lift the knees off the floor and then push the hips back like you could bring your chest onto your legs. Inhale, slowly back to table, knees to the floor. So moving in and out of the postures is a really good way to warm up, and we don't have to go to the full poses right away. So let's do that 2 more times. Push into the floor with your hands, protect your shoulder blades, so no slumping shoulders up to the ears, but rather that integrity. Lift your knees, engage your core belly, and then push your hips, not so much up, but back. So your chest could be on your legs or floating above it, just getting some length through your spine, maybe into your calves and shins, ankles. Come forward, take a rest. Awesome job. Before we do the last one, keep the toes tucked under and come to a high kneel and just give your wrists a little shake. And then if you want to do a that feels good too. Preparing for our last round now. Find your table, open fingers, safe shoulders, tuck the toes, lift the knees, exhale back. Chest onto or towards the thighs, tailbone lifting, so don't let the tail move toward the heels, but rather up to the sky if you can. And then roll your armpits to look at each other with straight arms. Getting some release in the upper back as you traction your whole spine. Exhale, slowly lower the knees back to the floor. Take the tops of feet to the floor. Slowly sink the hips for a child's pose. Bend your elbows to soften your shoulders, resting your head on the floor. the head doesn't go to the floor, you can use a pillow or a block. Or you can bring a pillow under your belly. So whatever is comfortable here in a supported pose that you can let go of all muscular effort. Feel the breath moving into your back body. So just like we started the practice, having that three-dimensional or yogic breath. You might move the hips softly from side to side here, getting some wiggles and mobility into the low back. Make sure you're breathing. When the mind wanders, just come back. Now inhale through your nose. Exhale through an open mouth. And just let the earth absorb any tension you're holding. On a slow inhale, come back to table pose. Tuck your toes back under. Walk your hands a bit forward with the fingers still open wide. And especially press down now in the webbing between index and thumb. Protecting the shoulders, moving them away from the ears. Armpits roll in with straight arms. Moving into downward dog, lift your knees off the floor, push your hips back like we've been doing, but then allow the hips to lift, the legs to go towards straight. They don't have to be straight. It's more about lengthening your spine. Ears alongside biceps, back of neck long. Breathe here. Feel your shoulders moving down your back as you curl the armpits inward. Straight arms with the forearms feeling like they're pressing forward toward the top of your mat. Just another 2 breaths in our downward dog, feeling the whole surface area of the hand, especially that webbing pushing down. And then inhale, slowly come forward to a plank pose, top of a push-up. Hips lower so you're parallel to the floor. Exhale the hips back and up, downward dog. 4 more here. Inhale slowly forward. Exhale slowly back. If this feels too strenuous, you might come between push-up and table and just practice some core strength, or you might forget about all of that and again be in a child's pose. Just 2 more breaths, whatever modifications and variations work best for you here. Waking up your body, but keep the shoulders away from the ears. So if you're checking out, if you're getting tired, take a rest instead of hurting the shoulder joints. Let's slowly come back down, knees to the floor, toes are curled under. And again, we'll come up to a tall sort of kneel. Then we'll weave the back of the hands together and let the wrists slowly come toward the tummy, shoulders down away from the ears. Couple of breaths here, ears right over shoulders, so you feel your spine and neck all in one line. Drop the chin ever so slightly and close your eyes. Find that yogic breath we've been cultivating. And then change which finger's on top. Trying to bring the backs of the wrists as close to each other as you can, the wrists as low to the pelvis as you can, without hiking the shoulders up. And then release. Oof. Give it a shake. And let go of some of the tension and holding patterns in the wrists and forearms. Keeping the toes tucked under, see how it feels to sit in this kneeling pose. Stretching out the toes a little bit, or if it doesn't feel right, sit however you prefer. From here, let's take a hold of our strap, or you could use a belt or a bathrobe strap or anything that you have handy. Bring the strap into both hands with your door-knocking knuckles facing forward. Hands are shoulder width apart. Let's lengthen the arms to the sky without reaching the chest forward or arching the spine. Keep the spine more on the back. Keep the spine more neutral and the ribs on the belly. As you do this, roll your pubic bone away from your tummy. Pectoral or chest stretch here, shoulders down the back. Arms as straight as you can. So it's like there's a tug of war happening with the shoulders moving down and the wrists and elbows trying to pull up. Meanwhile, the sternum or rib cage stays down, pubic bone stays down. So your spine maintains its more neutral curve. Like if you look at a skeleton in a science classroom and the natural curvature you would see there, trying to emulate that. And then bring your wrists, flex your wrists so your knuckles come forward. So now it's like your punching knuckles are facing forward, getting a wrist and forearm stretch. Perhaps closing your eyes here. And think about how much our ancestors swung and hung from trees, lengthening our arms and getting a lot of range of motion in our shoulders, and how little we do with our arms now. Keep your torso and everything the same, but bring your arms to the right. Couple of breaths. Make sure your breath is just like we started the practice. Slow and full. Back to center. Over to the left. Shoulders down the back, ears over shoulders, back of neck long. Come back to center and release the strap, rolling out your shoulders. Open mouth, exhale if it feels good. And then release that foot stretch if you were holding it. Bring your feet in front and give your legs a shake. And then side to side too. And then sit up nice and tall, so whether on a pillow or meditation cushion or yoga block, elevate your hips and then bring your right shin so that it's parallel to the top of your mat. Take a hold of your other ankle and see if you can bring it beyond the first knee. And then sit up nice and tall so both buttocks or both of the bones inside your buttocks are taking the weight as evenly as possible. Some of us may have to put an additional pillow under one buttock. And then you can lower your legs toward the floor, so you're letting your pubic bone roll away from your belly, softening and grounding through the lower body. So mine looks like this. Yours might look more like this, but if you're getting opening and sensation in the outer hips, you're in the pose. If it hurts the knee or hurts anything, then you're not in the pose correctly. You want to wiggle so there's no pain. Of course, new sensation, new stretching can feel mildly uncomfortable or strange, but you need to tap in and really feel if the pain is something you need to change or if it's just a little bit of newness from not being used to the stretch. So we're going to stay in this one a little longer than the previous poses, so find something that feels sustainable. Give your muscles permission to relax, whether a soft stroke or the resting of your heavy hands on your legs. Close your eyes here, let the shoulders relax, and again, just let go of your day, your cares. Judgments and thoughts will always come and go, always be a part of our yoga practice. It's not about pushing thoughts out of the mind or resisting thoughts. Just notice as thoughts come in and be vigilant as you return to your body and your breath. Use each exhale as an opportunity to become more relaxed, heavy and grounded, especially in the hips, butt, and legs. The spine can lengthen more and more on each inhale. Position the arms so the shoulders are relaxed, the arms are heavy. Front ribs once more resting on your belly. Ears right over shoulders, chin slightly tucked. Feeling your whole body here, connecting deeply as we take these last few breaths. And then very gently, very gingerly, let's lean back on the hands and release the pretzel. First the top leg, then the bottom, and give it a shake. And then we do the other side. Left shin down. Help your right ankle right across the knee. And then wherever this knee goes is fine. So we're inviting it down. It may not take the invitation today. Sitting up tall on both buttocks as best you can, using a little wedge of pillow or yoga mat or blanket under a buttocks to find more even weight distribution. Feel long in your torso from your hips to your armpits, as though the crown of your head was being lengthened to the sky. Sternum on the belly, ribs down, pubic bone down, all the same alignment points. Closing your eyes here. Notice any difference you may feel on the two sides. Wiggle and adjust so you feel balanced as much as possible. Relaxed. And then be in the pose with nothing else to do. No multitasking with the mind, but full awareness, full mindfulness of your body, of your breath. Inhaling to fill your belly, sides, and back. Exhaling to slowly contract through the torso without strain. Heavy through the hips on each exhale. If you need to come out of the pose early and rest, listen to your body, but stay present, stay mindful, even if you're just resting, taking a child's or laying on your back or whatever you need here. Yoga is not about the shapes we take, what the body is doing. That's secondary. Yoga is the mindfulness and the breath. Keep these going as the foundation. And we'll do a few last moments here, scanning the whole body and seeing where you might soften. Notice if you're clenching, especially through the jaw. Last breath. And then very sweetly release, leaning back, helping yourself out of the posture. Move slow with these joints and then give them a nice shake to release. And then moving nice and slow, come down onto your back. Take your knees to your chest and rock from side to side. Oh God. Bad yoga teacher, my ringer's going off. Let's keep the right knee to the chest and extend the left leg to the floor. Wrap your fingers around your knee and take a couple slow breaths. Release the shoulders toward the floor, down the back. Feel the left leg heavy. Soften your brow, your forehead. Three last breaths here. See if you can be mindful the whole time. What do you notice? What do you feel? What do you observe? And then slowly release that leg down to corpse. Feel your body. And then inhale, slowly bring the opposite knee to the chest, wrapping your fingers the opposite way. Heavy arms, sinking the knee down, shoulders soft. Soften the jaw, the roof of the mouth. Feel your hips sinking, stretching, opening, and continue to breathe in this elongated way for these last few moments. Uniting body, breath, and mind. On an exhale, slowly down to corpse pose, preparing for final meditation. Relax your body, relax your breath, and wiggle and adjust so you can take up space, armpits open, feet wide. If you're able to stay here for a little while longer, after the video ends, I recommend it. Thank you so much for sharing this time. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.